would you please stand? I'm going to ask Commissioner Watson to lead us in the invocation and Commissioner Cook to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Our heads. Father, it's an honor to serve you, and it's our goal to serve in your honor. We ask that you keep our citizens and our employees safe as they go through their work days, travel our county. Ask that you be with us as we make decisions and be good stewards of the county's money. And we ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any public comment?
No, sir, we do not.
We have an employee recognition, Caleb Lovell. Would you come forward, Caleb?
Commissioners, we do have a second employee listed, but he is in Kansas meeting his new grandbabies, so he'll have to join us next month.
Well, we're glad to have him in our department. He learned a lot when he's in distribution, so actually it'll be a big help. He's done several things on the maintenance side for us already, so look forward to having him.
Yes, it is. We appreciate what you do.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
We need to change the agenda. I need a motion to defer item 8.
I'll make a motion to defer item number 8.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Also, for the June meetings, we will be scheduling the facilities and finance. There'll be a combined meeting on Wednesday at 10 o'clock on June 19th. And the commission meeting, instead of being on Thursday, will be Wednesday at 2 p.m. And Janice, can you please send out an invite to each one of the commissioners?
Yes, sir.
And make the appropriate advertisements for this. Yesterday, we had a facilities committee meeting and also a finance committee meeting. A lot of the same things were discussed. Basically, we approved contract award for electrical installation at some pump stations. Also, Highway 17 water main casings for future water lines, fence replacement at Academy Creek, change order for pump stations 3101, 4001, and 4002. And we dedicated easements and infrastructure at Woodland Cove Phase 2A. And also we involved with supplemental utility locating services for the broadband that's being installed throughout the county. The water production report. On the mainland, we averaged 5.2 million gallons a day. St. Simons, we averaged 2.8 million gallons a day, and in Southport, we averaged 300,000 gallons a day. And let me say that we did not have a single complaint the whole month, and that's really good. We've not had any complaints for about the last 6 months. And we just need to commend our water operators. I wish Donnie and Caleb were still here. We commend them for the work they do. On the wastewater side, the Academy Creek plant's operating at 47% of its capacity. Dunbar Creek on St. Simon's is at 76%, and the Southport plant's at 34% of its capacity. We then had a good report from Mr. Klein about showing us photos of various construction projects that are ongoing. And I'm glad to say that the Canal Road well, the construction started on that, and the North Mainland elevated water tank is now out for bids. So we'll be excited to see that tank go up one of these days. That's my report, and I'd like to ask Commissioner Watson to please give us a report on the finance meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Commissioner Ford, for joining our Finance Committee meeting yesterday in Mr. Sabia's absence. We had 3 contracts that we approved to present to the full commission today. A couple of change orders, and you'll hear about our Academy Creek fence replacement. We also tabled the virtual card with Synovus till next month, when Synovus can be here and present some of those intricacies of that program. And then we also had a full financial report from Ms. Wilson, and a good meeting, quick meeting, and very concise.
Thank you, Commissioner Watson. Can I have a motion for us to excuse Commissioner Sabby from this meeting?
I'll make a
He's
motion. Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. We'll move to the approval section of the meeting. The first item is minutes from the April 18th, 2024 commission meeting. Can I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Next item is contract award, pump stations 2001, 2002, 2033, and 2034. Electrical installation, Mr. Burris.
Yes, so these are 2 separate capital projects, each having 2 pump station rehabs associated with it. 2001 and 2002 are on the south end of St. Simon, serving the Pier Village area and the area around Ocean Boulevard. And then 2033 and 2034 on the north end of St. Simons in the Hampton Point and Lawrence Road area. We went 2 months ago, we awarded some purchase contracts to buy a lot of electrical equipment, and we're doing these projects a little bit differently, where we will essentially be our own general contractor with small contracts underneath for sub work. This is the electrical installation contracts that we're recommending for these 4 pump stations. We got quotes from 3 local electrical contractors on all 4 pump stations. The low quote is from Tech Electric out of Darien. Total cost for all 4 electrical installations is $81,366. They have worked with Tech on projects in the past funded by private development. Also, I did learn this morning they've also done some work at some of our water facilities, unwiring and rewiring motors and stuff like that for us. So we have experience with them. So staff would like to move forward with this work with Tech Electric.
Can I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission award a contract to Tech Electric LLC for electrical installations at pump station 2001, 2002, 2033, and 2034 in the amount of $81,366.
Have a second? Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Next item is contract award, Highway 17 water main casings. Mr. Burris.
Yes, sir. Mr. Klein, would you mind operating GIS for us on this? We have 2 locations on Highway 17, one on Highway 17 North and one on Highway 17 South, where there's interest in water for a single connection that will require GDOT permitting to go underneath Highway 17. Looking at the opportunities, staff received quotes from DNC Directional Boring, who we have an on-call directional boring contract with, to install 16-inch casings, which are much larger than what is necessary for the single connection. but will allow us to, at a later date, pull an 8 or 12-inch water main through those casings to expand the water system in these areas. The first one here at Highway 17 North is at the end of Harry Driggers. Somebody immediately across Harry Driggers there is interested in water service, and right now we do not have connections on the east side of Highway 17, so this will be the first time we can get water mains under Highway 17. We do have concurrence from the current Highway 17 widening contractor that our work will not interfere with their work, so we can get the GDOT permitting. And the one at exit 29 is across from Southport Mini Storage for a new construction project down there. Again, another 16-inch casing. And what that will allow us to do is at a later date, come back and loop the system at the South Mainland, both up near the Winn-Dixie at the Hyde Park Shopping Center and down towards Satilla Sands and Clearwater. So currently those areas are single fed, so we'll put a casing in where Mr. Klein is indicating there. We'll bring the service inside the casing and then at a later date come back as needed to bring the larger water mains across as demand is indicated. But this way we only have to do the permitting once.
Will that be a bore, or
Yes,
will it be a?
It will be directionally drilled underneath. It's about 200 feet. I think one of them's like 220 and one of them's like 200, but it's 170 or $8 a linear foot, so we assume 200 feet on both casings.
Is there a standard depth that they go down it?
These would be 3 foot.
Yeah, it generally a little bit deeper underneath the DOT right of ways, but probably around about 4 foot it'll level out, but enough to clear the ditch bottoms, ditch lines on either side as needed.
And then the customer on the east side, then if they want to connect, they'll have to tie into.
They'll have to tie in. They'll have to tie in for their 1-inch connection, and then when we bring the pipe through, we'll upsize that 1-inch connection, still leave them tapped to the new line, and then we can run north and south on 17. Absolutely nothing going on that would be interrupted, no, sir. Because we can hot tap the connections.
Can I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission award contract to D&C Directional Boring LLC for the installation of 2 casings for water main installation in the amount of $71,200.
Second.
Motion is second. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. Next item is Academy Creek fence replacement. Mr. Burrows.
Yes, sir. So we, if you've been by the Academy Creek facility, you know that chain link fence that runs along 341 is in a little bit of a state of disrepair. There's significant corrosion, and also it is leaning in some areas. We got quotes to replace the existing galvanized chain link fence with a vinyl coated chain link fence that will stand up better to the environment that it is in. 3 quotes were received. The low quote was from Coastal Fencing. This will be to replace the fence along 341 and along T Street where the 2 gates to the facility are. $29,000 is a low quote, and this work will be completed prior to the end of the fiscal year, so it will go in this fiscal year's budget.
Can I have a motion?
I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission award a contract to Coastal Fencing for the replacement of the fencing at the Academy Creek plant in the amount of $29,000.
I'll second the motion.
Motion second. Any questions?
Question on the going in, is 9 gauge, is that the same what's there now?
Yes, sir. It's just going to be vinyl coated instead of just bare galvanized.
Will bear up to the environment there a little bit better.
Todd has a picture up there that shows the fence that's going to be replaced at the front of the. If you've been out there, it's in pretty bad shape.
Yesterday, we had a discussion during the meeting about maybe putting some sort of plants in there, but immediately on this side is railroad right-of-way, right? And on the other side are buried electrical lines. So too much hazard, so it's just going to stand on its own.
There is underground power within a foot of that fence on the inside.
We're not going to dig around in there, so.
That's 611.
Well, we know where it's at, but we just don't want to go digging right there.
Any other questions?
That was one of the things, that has been brought up is some kind of beautification buffer. With the fence quote that we're getting, is there any way to put the weave in?
We are looking at the mesh to run that along.
Yeah,
See if that will help out. Yes, sir.
because landscaping would have been the preferred choice, of course, but, and I don't know if anything like ivy or anything that could grow on the fence would be a possibility, something that wouldn't get out into those areas, but.
We'll certainly take a look and see what we can come up with. Yes, sir.
All right.
Those are good comments. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Next item is change order number 1, pump stations 3101, 4001, and 4002, engineering services.
So
Mr.
we entered
Burrows.
into a contract with Kimley Horn in March of 2022 to design improvements to 3 pump stations, one at exit 29 across from across from Satilla Marsh Elementary, and 4001 and 4002 in downtown Brunswick. Initial set of bid documents was produced and advertised, and we received one bid substantially over budget in December of 22, at which time the board voted to reject those bids. Staff requested Kimley Horn to remove items from the scope to hopefully increase the bidding pool and reduce the cost of the project to be closer in line with the existing budgets. They did produce a new set of bid documents with a reduced scope of work, and we received one bid once again. However, it was, while still over budget, closer to the original budget. Kimley Horn has requested a change order to the original contract amount of $160,000 for this de-scoping, redesign, and rebidding effort. The requested amount is $20,000. And there's a breakdown on the memo that provided by Kimley Horn indicating that it goes to project management, the redesign services, and the rebidding services. There is no adjustment to construction administration services as a result of this change.
Can I have a motion?
I'll move the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve change order number 1 to the engineering services contract with Kimley Horn for the pump station 3101, 4001, 4002 rehab project in the amount of $20,000.
Second.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. Next item is fiscal year 2025 City Works Enterprise License Agreement renewal, Mr. Burris.
Yes, sir. We use a program called CityWorks, licensed by Azteca Systems for asset management and work order management systems. Each year we have to renew what's known as an enterprise license agreement, which is essentially our subscription fee to get the software package. And this year the increase is a 4% increase, a total contract amount of $48,615.84, which is an increase of $1,869.84. This is a budgeted item throughout multiple operating budgets in our standard operating budget based off the number of CityWorks users by department. So there will not be a single $48,000 charge show up in the budget anywhere for this.
First time increase or?
No, it goes up about 4% every year. But it's one of those situations where we would not be able to switch providers for $1,800.
Can I have a motion?
I'll move, Mr. Chairman, that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve the renewal of the fiscal year 2025 City Works Enterprise License Agreement with Aztec Systems LLC in the amount of $48,615.84.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Next item is dedication of easements and infrastructure. Mr. Klein.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. That is loading up. Okay, residential development continues to proceed on the north end of the county. This is to do with Woodland Cove. Zoom in a little bit. Phase 2A, which is a residential development north of State Route 99 at the very end of the spur extension.
Can you pull up a picture and show us where that's at?
Absolutely. So click over to GIS here. Okay, if we go over the very end of the spur, State Route 99, across State Route 99, drive to the very end of the spur, go past Green Swamp Road, and our northernmost service area or basin is up here at 4134, pump station 4134. And Woodland Cove is the residential subdivision that's phase 1 is already there and built. Phase 2A is what we're talking about here now. These are public roads in there, so no easements involved, just infrastructure dedications. This Phase 2A is going to add 34 new single-family residential customers to the Joint Water and Sewer Commission's rolls, and 1,650 linear feet of new 8-inch PVC water main, and a little over 1,400 linear feet of 8-inch gravity sewer. This is all gravity sewer served for the collection system, which all goes to pump station 4134, which then pumps back down, currently all the way back down to Academy Creek.
Can I have a motion?
I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve and accept this project with associated documentation.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions?
That's right across the street from where the new school is going. It's on that track that's where the cursor was just a minute ago.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Neal, you're correct. Absolutely. Thank you for pointing that out. So a lot of activity in this area, a lot of growth. Correct. Is this a school system?
Yes.
Yeah. Right there, 20, close to 30 acres, maybe something like that. So, yes.
Any other question?
Would be able to handle school without a problem.
Absolutely. It was designed years ago, back in the early 2000s, 2008, 2009, I believe, to accommodate that area and the potential growth, including the school site and everything. So we need flow on that station. Yeah.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Next item is agreement for supplemental utility locating services, Mears Broadband LLC and Boulevard LLC. Mr. Burris.
Yes, sir. We entered into a similar agreement to this a few months back with a company known as Breakpoint, and this is for supplemental locating services. Due to the Live Oak fiber installation and the enormous amount of locate services that are necessary to keep up with their schedule, we worked out an agreement with Breakpoint to try to help us keep up with that. That has been unsuccessful, and Live Oak and their subcontractor Mears has requested that we allow them to bring in a different locate company, Boulevard BLVD LLC. So this agreement here that we've been working on is between Joint Water and Sewer, Mears, and Boulevard. Unfortunately, as of right now, we have not heard concurrence with Boulevard on the updated agreement. We have concurrence from Mears and JWSC. So rather than officially approving this today, as discussed at the Facilities Committee meeting yesterday, what we would like to do is consider this agreement and for the board to give Mr. Dormany and myself the ability to work out an agreement that's acceptable to all parties so that they can continue to do these locate services and their project doesn't get behind for the fiber installation, with the ultimate goal to reduce damage to public infrastructure, to make sure that the items are located accurately before fiber optic cable goes in there. And it's a no-cost agreement to us. All of the locate services provided by BLVD will be covered by either Mears or Live Oak as a portion of this, so it doesn't cost the Joint Water and Sewer any money.
Does everyone understand what we're talking about? Do we need to pass a motion to accept this?
Yes, sir. Make the motion to authorize the executive director to negotiate a contract.
Can I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission authorize the executive director to negotiate and enter into a contract with Mears LLC and BLVD LLC to perform supplemental utility locating at no cost to the JWSC.
Motion is second. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. Next item is Executive Director's update. Mr. Burris.
Yes, sir. Our annual budget and rates town hall meetings have been scheduled for June the 5th and June the 6th. June the 5th will be at Howard Coffin Park, and they're at 6 o'clock both nights. And then June the 6th will be at the casino on St. Simon's Island. So we get together, talk about our upcoming budget and rates, and also give project updates for any customers that are interested to attend. And of course, it is a publicly advertised meeting, so as many of the commissioners that would like to attend are certainly welcome to do so. Like I said, we'll get there about 6 and it runs from 6 to 8 if there is sufficient interest for us to stay there until 8 o'clock. And that is the extent of my update.
Any commissioners have anything you want to say or discuss?
Just update on where we are with the alternative sewer services. You told us y'all were working on something that you could bring to us to discuss on sewer alternatives.
Commissioner Gill, thank you for asking. So, matter of fact, at the JECA conference, Georgia Rural Water Association conference, one of the vendors was actually able to provide me with a good spec that we're reviewing now for those type of systems. So we get that under review right now, and perhaps next month we bring some information on that.
We're gonna try to go see some of these in action to make sure we're comfortable with the functionality and everything before we move forward.
If we have it for the facilities meeting, make sure Commissioner Neal knows so he can attend the facilities meeting too if he's available. Any other things? Chairman's update. The Georgia Rural Water Association had its annual meeting at Jekyll last week. And I want to commend the employees of JWSC. I mean, how many people went?
About 80.
80. And every one of them were there. And every one of them were sitting in classes. I didn't see anybody sleeping. I didn't see anybody skipping classes. And they all sat together and talked about different issues at lunch. And so I think it was a good bonding time for them and also a good learning experience. Plus they got 12 qualification points, right, for each one. And Andrew was there the whole time too, as was Todd and some other people. I think LaDonna was there some too. So I think it was a good conference, and I commend the JWSC for the employees for going and participating in it. That's my update. We don't need an executive session, do we?
Mr. Chairman, if I could take a point of approval. During our honor flight last week, I want to commend LaDonna and Todd. They both took their time to go out there and welcome our veterans home. I saw them out there being patriotic and just it's commendable that they take personal time to go do this to honor our veterans. And if you've never been to one of those honor flights, when those veterans come back in, it means the world to them to see the community support them the way that we do here in Glynn County for their service to our country. So I just wanted to take that point of privilege.
Thank you all. Anything else? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second? All in favor? We're adjourned. Thank you very much.